Meng here from Caldecott Music as well as BandLab. The judges are going to take turns, and I'm going to announce number 3, and then each different judge is going to announce number 2 and number 1. It was a really tough one. First, congratulations to everybody who participated. I think we were all super impressed with the work that you guys put together in a short amount of time. And I have the honor of announcing third place, which this year was Community. And obviously, I'm very biased because I'm a big fan of creating new social platforms, especially some of the challenges around music and trying to bring different fan groups in a more open ecosystem together, as well as obviously being biased that BandLab was mentioned a lot in the proposal and learning about the way that you guys saw it and the potential to collaborate, as well as some of the passion around bringing more women into music, which is something that, you know, I'll be honest and say we didn't set out to do with BandLab, but in empowering everybody, we found some really positive externalities out of that, which is that 61% to 39% male to female ratios in what we're doing on BandLab today. When you make it possible to make everyone make music, then you really create opportunities for everybody to get involved and have completely different kinds of breakdowns to what you see in the industry today. So congratulations to Community. Really liked your ideas and definitely feel that there's some opportunity, but also some challenges in how you create a new platform for people. But really well done to all of you, and nice to meet you as well.
Thanks, Ben. I'm announcing the second place, and second place today goes to Streams to Seats. It was, like Meng mentioned, really tough getting a first place and a second place. I think the consensus was, first off, that this is the Streams to Seats problem, and figuring this out is a really important problem to solve. So you picked like a really good challenge to go at. My company roster, we have a lot of promoters who use the platform and are constantly looking at this challenge of how do you gauge audience size for hard tickets and tickets in the streaming world. And we really liked the approach that you took, where you looked at that first tour. This is a particularly challenging thing to do because you don't have any backup, you don't have any historical ticket sales to base it off. And so the risk is much, much higher, but the reward as well, if you solve that problem, is that a lot of promoters and getting out on tour are not taking the risks on new artists. It's easier to take a risk on an artist with a ticket history. So solving this is really, really important. However, there's a reason that it hasn't been solved yet. And one of the main reasons there is that the correlation between streaming data and ticketing is not always highly correlated. And you have these artists with huge audiences, but not necessarily translating that to tickets. And I think an approach that you guys want to look into a little bit more is, yes, it's about venue size and venue capacity, but it's also about hyperlocal. Where are those streams coming from? Are there enough streams in a particular market to take that risk? And that's the biggest problem, or one of the biggest problems that the live industry is facing, is can we put on a show here? Do they have the audience? And really, it comes down to the data. There isn't really huge amount of data out there. The platforms don't make it available. Even the platforms themselves only have one view of the data. So it's a problem that really needs solving, but needs a really, really deep 3D view of all the data that's out there. But overall, super well done in a couple of days. I think the approach was really cool, segmenting artists, really well done, and congrats on second place.
Thank you. I'll just quickly add to what Mark said. I think a couple of other data points that you might want to consider is seasonality. Even like sounds weird, but traffic, meaning flight prices, weather, all these are very, very important like indicators of whether there will be the propensity of these venues to be filled or not. Having said that, announcing the number 1, as you can deduce, the number 1 is the collaboration tool. We really feel it wasn't, as you all heard, it wasn't unanimous, but a huge chunk of our judges felt that it was very well presented, especially the pain point of finding out a collaboration or artist in another geography when you are starting out as an artist. We felt that aesthetically the format of the presentation was really great. We were very happy to see a prototype being developed in just 2 days. That was a great plus point there. And we also felt that the feasibility is pretty high as well, because this is a problem, of course, there will be a group of people who will say that this is a problem that a lot of people are trying to solve. There are also there are also people that who can connect you to another artist that you can collab with. there's some duct tape and glue around already on this problem space. However, coming from SoundCloud, I can tell you for sure that when artists are new, when they don't even know what ISRC means, what UPC codes mean, what is a promoter, what is a they don't know any basics of the music industry. For these type of artists, it's not so much about collaboration, but figuring out who could you talk to and get some ideas whether your music is good or not. Mostly validation, mostly feedback, right? And in that process, being able to find an artist community in the first stage of your life is super important. I feel that this speaks to that. And then collaboration becomes a second step. Having said that, I think there are multiple things that this product, if you take it out to market, you should consider, is that it's not just about, as Bo mentioned, right? It's not just about, you finding an artist, but also you need to think about the size of the artist, who you're being paired up with, right? But other things, also logistics and things like that, what leads to like a collaboration, right? If there any other judge who wants to like give any piece of advice, please feel free. But I think it's a really hard problem to solve. We're happy that you have taken the first step, and congratulations and all the best.
Amazing. Before we wrap up, did any other judges want to add any notes?
Well, yes. Since I work on the A&R field as well, and this was part of the debate we were having, I think it's a great start. Music metadata, because when you use data in order to use to assess music discovery and explore collaborations, like is this case, it's very important to have that in mind and tackle it head on. It's very complex, and data tends to not to be very reliable. So my piece of advice with Colaborata, in case you want to continue working with this and take it further, it's to pay a very big attention to that. And also, I would probably tell you to add engagement metrics, which is also really important in order to look for collaborations, because every time you're looking for a collaborator, you want someone who is going to rise your profile as an artist. And it's very important to find the right artist for you, and an artist that is hot, an artist that is making waves in social media. So I would add engagement metrics. Right now, as far as I know, engagement metrics are available for TikTok, for YouTube and Instagram, and for Facebook. So that would be an also very good thing to be added to the platform. And also include contact data for the prospective artists that you're showing to your potential customers, because collaborations happen when there's a human touch and when there's human interaction. It's not driven only by numbers. Numbers may serve as opportunities, but the real collaboration is going to happen until the artist is able to form a bond with a team of the other artists or the other artist itself. So adding content information, management information, booking information, and all that sorts of information on your platform is going to be really helpful for your future customers. And that's it on my part. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Oh my gosh. So you guys, like, we're done. We did it. I'm incredibly proud. I'm always so blown away by what everyone does, everyone put together in literally 48 hours. It's truly impressive. I'm going to wrap things up. This is going to be much shorter, I promise. But every year on the final day of Measure of Music, I wear a shirt that encompasses the tone of the year. A few months ago, I was at a music industry conference and mentioned I was headed off to Vegas for When We Were Young Festival, which is a pop punk festival, if people don't know. The person I was speaking to literally audibly scoffed at me. And I remember thinking, in the year of our Lord 2022, are we really still judging people for their music taste? So today I'm wearing a shirt from my favorite band that recently reunited. It says, "This is our culture," and it's a lyric from Fall Out Boy. I grew up listening to pop punk. I grew up hanging out on Warped Tour. I grew up running a fanzine. And that subculture and that community directly affected who I am professionally and personally today. And a quick shout out to the Black queer pop punk band Meet Me at the Altar for being the representation I would have loved to have as a kid. That's to say, just as systems and processes can be barriers, so can people. That's why it's important to find your community. So many in this industry will try to take away your joy, and you have to actively make sure you don't let them. So with that, a huge thank you to our judges, our mentors, our weekend staff, our sponsors, and everyone else involved in making this happen, of course, including our participants. Our after party is starting now at measuremusic.com/afterparty, which is 5-minute speed networking with the entire Measure of Music community. Everyone's open and welcome to join. And with that, it feels apt to say thanks for the memories and see you all next year.
Congratulations, Christine. Bye.
Thank you.
Good job, Christine.
Good job, Christine.